Okay, so this is a continuation of chapter 6. So this is 6-2, adding the interior walls. So I'm going to actually start with the first floor plan. So what the textbook wants you to do is copy the first floor walls, interior first floor walls, from the first floor up to the second floor. So we're going to go to the first floor view, and we are going to copy only the walls that are shown on page 6.6. So if you zoom in, this, and there. Okay. So now you can hit Control C, or you can, I don't see the copy tool. Oh, here it is, sorry. You hit this copy tool, and now they're copied to the clipboard, and now we're going to the second floor. Now, it's important, do not hit Control V here, because you actually have to click this drop down and say, paste aligned to current view. The reason that's important is you want your walls to find the same exterior walls as what was on your first floor. So that's great. Now you can see, though, that it copied the doors over. So what you can do here is draw a box from left to right so that only the doors are selected. However, we got that wall as well. So to delete them, you can just click them as well. Or in this case, you can draw a box from left to right so that it only gets what's within that box and hit delete. You don't want those doors in there. Those were copied over from the first floor. Okay, now, if you look at page 6.8, it shows you how the interior walls are going to look in the end. So this is just like drawing the first floor walls. You're going to go to architecture, pick wall, and we're going to pick our standard interior wall, which is this one. And you're going to add walls where it shows you in the textbook. So this is going to be 2, 4.5. You can see you can't get it right, so you're going to have to come back and dimension that. This one wants it in the middle. So again, when you're drawing a wall, find the middle. So you know you're in the midpoint. Draw that down. Okay, over here, you're going to draw a wall up, and so on. You can just keep drawing until you get what is shown in this textbook. Okay, now you're going to learn a couple new tools. So you need to go to the Modify tab, and you need to extend this wall to here. So first you pick this trim and extend. You pick where you want it to extend to, and then you pick the wall that you're extending. Okay, so that's set. Now you can just dimension everything. So interior walls, you want to change this to wall center line. Now, which wall's in the right location? Well, it's the one you copied over. So perhaps you should go through and pin. This is a new tool for you. You could pin them, or you could lock them if you create the dimensions. I'm going to pin this wall. So all the walls I copied over. I'll just do a multi-select with the Control tab or Control key and pin those as well. So now, because I know this is the wall I copied in from the first floor, you can pick this wall and change the dimension to what it needs to be. If you don't know which one you copied, you can always turn your underlay back on. Dimension this one. This, remember, according to the book, actually, this is going interior walls, and that's so that you know you're in the center. Because those two other walls it's referring to are not centered, or not the same thickness, you can't really do that correctly. And now you can see somehow, even though I picked the midpoint, it's not centered. So according to the book, you need this to be 8, 5, 3/4. It's still not centered. I'll just leave that for now. And now you make all the changes that you need to make. Add all the dimensions you need. I'm not going to bore you with watching all of this. I'll just do one more. this one needs to be 9 3/4. This is a strategy you're going to have to figure out. So once you have that placed, you're going to want to lock that. If you have this one placed, then lock that one. Because now if I come in, actually this one is pinned, so this won't move regardless. So if you look, I'm going to try to size this correctly. And if I try to change this, it's not going to work. You see that? It won't let me change it, and that's because this is pinned. So, and I know that's where I want it to be. So I'm going to click this one. Let's say 2, 4.5. Now it's looking a little bit more correct. Just keep looking at that page in the textbook. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, so I just added all of these dimensions that we need according to page 6.8, and I also realized why this is not centering. So if you go to the first floor, and hopefully this is not true in the model that you have, this wall somehow is not correct. So if I change this wall, so this is supposed to be 17.4, that becomes 28. Hopefully now if I go to the second floor, this can now be centered correctly. And let me zoom in and make sure I'm getting, nope, I wanted my permanent dimension. And there we go, now they're both the same. So that was why that wasn't working. My model was not quite correct. So the only other thing that I forgot to do ahead of time before I did all the dimensions is you need to trim away part of a wall. So this part, if you look at that page, is supposed to be not there. So I'm going to just use your trim tool and pick the 2 parts of the wall you want to save. And now if you look, that looks just like what's on page 6.8. So that is the end of 6.2, which was adding the interior walls. Just make sure your model has all the same dimensions as this.